We've been talking about their schedule. Let's bring in their head coach and see what else the Tigers have in store for us this season. Coach Jones, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you both very much for having me, and thanks first and foremost to YSN. You guys do an amazing job, as always, covering sports around the area. Doesn't matter, league, doesn't matter, male, female, whatever. You guys do an excellent job. So thank you. All the coaches, I know we really appreciate it.
We appreciate that, Coach. And every time someone says it, I just say, hey, if the teams didn't put on a good show, we couldn't really go out and do anything. So once again, thank you for coaching. If you didn't put on a team, we wouldn't have much to cover. So
there you go.
Teamwork makes the dream work, Coach.
That's right.
Coach, we always kind of like to start off with the team, and Anthony and I have had plenty of discussions about it. It looks like you have a lot of seniority coming onto this team this year, so it must be exciting times in Springfield country. Why don't you highlight those players you got for this season?
Yeah, so I have 6 seniors coming back, and we're really excited. I mean, when you say seniority, I do have seniority. I also have height. And in joking around today at practice, I said, I never thought I'd say this. I have so many hitters, so that's a good feeling to have. But we have Maddie Lesnack coming back as middle, JC Mullen, she's an outside, Gianna Picuto, a setter, Sammy McKim, our libero, and Emily Gerthung and Lindsay Romeo, both as outside hitters. We are going to run a 6-2, so that's a nice little change for us to have the height and be able to do that. So we're excited about that. Really excited.
When I hear 6'2", I get excited because that means that you are going to have a slew of hitters. You're always going to have 3 hitters in the front row, which when you have the height that you do has got to be exciting. So who's going to be that second setter?
So moving in, we have freshman Baylin Brungard, and she loves the game. She brings an energy to the game. It's contagious in our gym, and that's what we were looking for. So we're going to have her setting as well with Gianna. I come back, I have Jamaica Brungard as a sophomore, and boy, has she improved from last season. Put in some time, J.O., but coming off that basketball season, kudos to Coach Matisse and our girls for the season they had. So that was huge for them. And these girls, a lot of these girls are basketball players, and they're hungry to keep that sort of win and drive going.
And I mean, in doing so, we know every team year to year is a little bit of a different look. No 2 teams are exactly the same. So in saying that, you're able to run a 6-2, but what would you say this team's identity is early on going into this season?
Really, I think, honestly, I'm not going to lie, we're still trying to find it. We have had some camps and some stuff over the summer, but we haven't had everybody all together with vacations, with, different commitments throughout the summer. It's been a challenge to have all of the girls that I feel would be playing varsity together. So truly not until this first week, last week of practice, were we all together. So we're trying to find our own, still trying to find the exact rotation that's going to put the best people in the best spots. But yeah, I mean, when we step on the floor, I think our height's going to be a presence. We just got to make sure we deliver with it.
We've talked about it on the show before this year. We've talked about it on the show with you last year. The Springfield Volleyball program is tradition-based. They have a lot of winning success in their history. You go back even 7 years ago, they were getting district championships like it was their job. Is that in the back of everyone's mind of trying to get that Springfield program back to where it has been?
It's certainly in the forefront of my mind. The last 2 seasons have been a challenge. Needless to say, our record certainly, I don't think always was reflective of how we could play. Again, I'm going to reflect back. So I think the girls got a taste of that in basketball and that winning and that drive. And I think it helps to push them. We have a lot of strong athletes. We have competitive athletes. So the challenge is to get that all together as a mix and put it out on the floor.
Obviously, conference wins are going to be what makes and breaks successful seasons from each other. Talking about your conference, too, it's no doubt one of the toughest that you have to compete in. Looking at this conference this year, too, who are you going to be looking at this year to compete with, too? And what are your I guess, expectations for competing in the conference this season?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Our league is tough. The MVAC, they're bringing it every year. You have teams coming and everyone's gunning for each other. It doesn't matter that McDonald just recently started their program several years back. They are a force to reckon with. Ridge, Reserve, they got a new coach, Chrissy Hughes, doing a great job. I know her from a long time back. Her girls have played. Her one daughter's coaching, at Poland. So, Western Reserve, Mineral Ridge, Jackson Milton, they're all coming. So we just got to be ready, and it's going to be very competitive, I think, every game. I think hopefully it'll be a battle all the way to the end, and I certainly want to see us up there at the top this year of the league.
And then we look at your non-conference schedule. It's no slouch either, especially what we were highlighting before you came on was these last 4 games for you on the schedule. I mean, it's got to make a coach kind of very excited to have 4 games in a row to end it, to prepare you for tournaments. I mean, I'm looking at the last 4. You got Western Reserve, Middle Ridge, Columbia, and Struthers. Those are really a really good end stretch, and even the last 6, Moody, Poland before that Western Reserve game. Talk about some of these non-conference games that you have, and what kind of drove you to want these teams on your schedule, and how much do you think it's going to prepare you for postseason?
Yeah, that's important at the end of the season to keep that, that drive going and get the girls still hungry for wins. By then, or last week especially, conference is going to be determined. But, then the real test of the season with tournaments is coming up. So having Columbiana, Jen does a great job every year down there. They're always great competition for us. And we saw them a little bit this summer at a camp. So, it's nice to have that going right into tournaments to get the girls hungry and ready and not sort of, slouch off. But like I said, you said a few of those games there right towards the end. We're still going to be battling for league at the end. Just got to keep our competitiveness up high, making sure that our effort matches our expectations. I think that's kind of what caught us up the last maybe, year or so. We have this drive or desire, but we're not quite sure how we're going to get there as a team. And we definitely know that our effort has to match our expectations, and we're ready.
In saying that too, I mean, there's so much success in the Springfield program amongst both boys and girls sports too. So, and the girls not having, I guess, quote unquote, a winning season, but I wouldn't say non-successful, but quote unquote, not a winning season. How does girls in Tiger Country take that? Because it doesn't seem like it happens too often. You talked about the work that they put into the off season too, but I just highlight that, how they took that too, and what were the kind of discussions that before coming into this season to turn that around?
Yeah, so we don't have a whole lot of girls that play JO just yet. A lot of them are competitive 3-sport athletes, so they're coming off a basketball season, they're going straight into softball season or track, and Callie Mady, she's a sophomore. She was deep into track. She was down there at state, running in a relay. So, she missed some of our camps and things for that, but just trying to talk to get the girls in the mindset. If we really have our effort that matches our expectations, everybody loves to win. And, people say winning isn't everything. And I say, then why do we keep score? I mean, it kind of is. It is. Everything's all about winning. And as a coach, you got to put the girls that are out there going to do the best job on the floor to get that done. So there's certainly, obvious the success that Coach Matisse had in basketball is like I said, carrying over. You got some girls that have played JO and they've had very successful club seasons, so they want to continue that. Jamaica Brungard, her improvement, I said it once already, but she's really going to be a presence on the floor. And she's very eager. She was, talking to me all off season. Coach, I think we need to do this. Coach, I think if we do this. And so it's just exciting that they're talking about it. They're great teammates. They get along very well. That, the 9 that I have playing for varsity, and I'll probably have a 12-girl, staff dressing varsity, but just to see them working well together on the floor is exciting.
You were exactly 2 weeks from the first game. It starts, Monday the 22nd in Brookfield. When you look at some of the goals you have for these next 2 weeks and the next 2 weeks in practice and in scrimmages, where do you want the girls to be when they start that game and they start the season on the 22nd?
I want to see, just that real competitive, intense level. Nothing is a given. I want to say the past is a past. What that was is gone, and we have to look forward. We're really focusing on progressions this year. If we do have a loss, we need to learn from that loss. And if we do and we improve, then it's a win. If we take it as a loss and we, swallow it up and just let it consume us and make the same mistakes, then it's going to be twice the battle. So, just getting these girls ready to understand that as long as we're making progressions, we're not sure if that game with Brookfield's happening. I heard they have a conflict My athletic director reached out to us and said there might be a conflict. So we might be starting Tuesday, but either way, we need to be ready to go and stay intense with a good competitive level.
You talk about all the advice that you give these athletes to help shape them in athletically and in their life as well. But I'm always curious in what that or when that happened for the coaches as well. So in saying that, what was a bit of advice, I guess, that helped shape you as a coach that you kind of still use to today?
Really just to always work hard. Nothing is a given. I'm a very competitive person by nature. I love to win. I hate to lose. Just really hustling. I've coached many years. I'm been a teacher, and every year that I've been a teacher, I've been coaching something. So I always want to say to the girls, truthfully, my effort. If I'm going to go all out and do something as a player, I should be rewarded. And I try to tell them that if they work really hard, whether you play JO in the off season, whether you play basketball, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, just always put in 100%, because in life, you're going to find out, you're going to get out what you put in. And so that's kind of something in my own mindset, my family life, my personal life, just my job, my everything. What you get out, what you put in, you get out. So keep working hard.
Obviously, you're super invested in volleyball, but I'm interested if there was any other sport that you had the opportunity to coach. What sport would you want to kind of throw your hat into the ring in?
Did Coach Matisse put you up to this question
Maybe.
or what?
Maybe.
Basketball is my first love. I'm not going to deny it. I tell the girls that. It was my first love. I played in college, and I refer back to a lot of things actually in practice as basketball. If this, building a team around a point guard, you have to do this. And so we can't pass. It's like a basketball player who can't dribble. So I'd probably say basketball, but I do like my vacations in the winter down south. So I tell John he's got to hold off a little longer to see me come back and coach basketball.
You played basketball, you like you just said is your first love. How did you fall into coaching volleyball, and what gave you the passion for this sport and pouring so much energy into volleyball?
I coached junior high first at Springfield when I came back teaching. And I know the legacy that Coach Knight had. I played for him. We were a point away from making it to regional my senior year, but it just was something that Coach Knight built, and I had the opportunity to coach at the junior high level for him, and I did. And at that level, it's really fun because you see a lot of growth in the girls. They come in not having any experience other than gym class, and you really get a chance to teach them the fundamentals. So that's exciting. At the time when I came to, we really didn't have girls soccer. So we had a lot of athletes, and we had a lot of opportunity to teach girls and have them grow. And then the opportunity came to come up with Bill at the JV level, and I took it, and the rest, I guess, as they say, is history.
Well, Coach, we know we don't want to take too much of your time, and we know that the players, the head coach, they always get all kinds of spotlight, all kinds of interviews, but we also love to give the opportunity for you to shout out your coaching staffs and some other big names that help out in that Springfield volleyball program that you couldn't do it without.
Yes, I could not do it without my counterpart, my varsity assistant, JV coach, Carrie Brungard. Her and I were teammates back in Springfield, together. So we have a lot of competitiveness about us both. She hates to lose as well. You would never guess that from any of her kids, right? So she's a great asset to have. We also personally work very well together, so that's a given. At the junior high level, I have Ashley Avnet. She was a player for Bill, and actually her uncle, Mike Dunn, he was a former coach also with Bill at the JV level. So they're bringing up the the junior high girls with just a lot of technical skills. They know all about Springfield volleyball, the expectations, and we work with them and let them know really what we want the girls to have coming into high school, and they do a great job of making sure the girls get it. And then we have, Bob Beam. He's our new athletic director, and he's working hard to help us out and just get everything on the road and get the show going.
All right, yeah, that Tiger community behind you. I know they love their volleyball. I've been to Springfield games as a fan and as a broadcaster. What's it going to be like to kind of get back into this atmosphere of volleyball in Springfield and get the community back into it and get the excitement back into the program?
I think we do have a great support. Tiger Nation brings it like no other, and it doesn't matter the sport. Obviously we've had a great run the last several years with football. That's obviously helped, but Tiger Nation always shows up. We get great support. The boys will come in after football practice and they come watch us. We have great parent support of all the girls from JV level up to the top. So our junior high team likes to come and watch. So we're excited to get it going, and the gym will be hot. We're one of those few. We're not air conditioned, so it'll be a hot one. But hopefully we get the stands packed and get some voices there for us.
Trust me, Coach, you're not alone. You're not alone. It seems like some of the best programs have gyms with no air conditioning. Maybe it builds character. I don't know.
It does. I'm telling you, we have playing those 5 sets. We already know what it's like to play tired and hot in 3. So we really, I think, have an edge there when teams come in and they're like, oh my gosh, but it's second nature to us anymore.
How nice is it to stroll into an AC gym though? Does it feel cooler than it actually is? Or are you feeling like you need like 2 hoodies on when you go into an AC gym?
Absolutely. And I think Jackson Milton's the worst. By second set, I'm like wiping my nose. It's, it's cold. I always bring the long sleeves and the pants because we know it's going to be cold. So the girls love it, but Coach Brungard and I, we're a little chilly, but it is nice. Hopefully Springfield will get it going here in the next year or two. So we'll see.
Coach, we look forward to it. We look forward to continuing our coverage of Springfield volleyball and seeing you out there. Thank you so much for your time and giving us a preview of the team. And we look forward to also having you again on the show again soon.
Thanks. Thanks again, guys, and YSN and the YSU Nation, or YSN Nation, sorry. We appreciate you.